Here we are, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to game number 2 between the Incredibads versus Mike Oxlong against the world. We saw the Incredibads take that game number 1. Wasn't super convincingly to begin with. Mike Oxlong, they had the good start. They managed to roll off the lane of phase quite well, apply a lot of early pressure and take down all of the tier 2 towers, as well as even taking a tier 3 at very good timings. But unfortunately they just couldn't quite find the pacing to actually try and close out the game. The Incredibads, they were able to bounce back, and as soon as they took like one team fight win, it just felt so damn difficult for Mike Oxlong to really try and come back into it and start taking favourable trades again. So we'll see if maybe they might try to run sort of a similar draft situation as they did in that previous game, and maybe just try and close out the game when they can, or if they're going to come into this with a little bit of a different strategy. We'll have to wait and see. But even still, very, very similar bands came out there from the Incredibads. Meanwhile, Mike Oxlong, they mix things up. They take out the Nyx. They take out the Oracle. Obviously, the Oracle, it was such a pain in the ass to deal with. Every single time they either went for the Oracle, it just made them waste so much time that the Ricky now was just jumping around doing so much damn damage. And if they didn't go for the Oracle, then obviously whoever they went for would just get false promised up, and that's just it. All your timing gets completely nullified, people just escape away, and it's a real damn miserable situation to be in. So even still, they're going to make sure that doesn't happen again. And the Incredibads, they're actually going to lead up with the Lich this game. So that's it's a hero that you don't normally see too much in sort of professional play. You see it a fair bit in your pubs. So I wonder if this is going to be sort of like a traditional sort of Lich build, or if they're going to try and utilise the new Shard ability. It is pretty damn cool to run with it, able just to apply this big AoE slow, as well as just like an easy bounce target. I mean, if you're crazy enough, you can actually set up for some easy solo kills against people once you have that online, but you've got to wait till minute 20 before you can do that. And by 20 minutes in, people are a little bit more farmed up to try and counter that play, so maybe they might not go for it. We'll have to wait and see. But there was the Mars pickup once again that came out there from Mike Oxlong, so I imagine Treebo's going to be running that once more. We'll see if they're going to go for like a similar pairing with the Earth Spirit, or maybe they might choose to go for something different. I'll have to wait and see. Incredibads did actually pick up the puck, so there is the potential that this could be a off-lane puck into the hands of Saman. They could put it into the mid, into the hands of Harbinger, or it could also be like a position 5 run. If Polar Bear Prince plays it, I'm not too sure if that's in his wheelhouse or not. But we'll have to wait and see how that ends up going. Maybe they might do that. But the thing about picking up a puck relatively early on is that, because it is a relatively flexible hero, it can go in a whole myriad of different situations and different roles. So you never just sort of, got this very static hero, which is pretty easy to read. But there is the Ricky ban this time. Mike Oxlong, they do not want to play against that hero again. I think they were getting a little bit angry about it towards the end of that first match. So yeah, they're just going to take that away. King isn't going to be able to play with that this time. And the Incredibads, they get rid of the Wraith King, similar ban to what they did in that previous match. We'll see if they decide to get rid of the PA or not. It did a pretty good job playing on the PA. It's just, I don't know, it felt like they were able to just kite it around a little bit too much. When it did get on top of someone, then it did just absolutely shred them to pieces and do tons of damage. But sometimes they just couldn't quite find the grab onto the best target a lot of times. So maybe Incredibads not going to be too worried about it. They're just going to leave it in the pool. Instead, they do take away the Ursa. We'll see what else they're going to go for. So maybe sometimes if you see like an Ursa pickup, generally it's because you want to have like some sort of beefy offlaner which gets punished quite badly by an Ursa. So see if maybe that's what they're thinking of. They've got some sort of idea about what they want to grab for their POS 3. We'll have to wait and see. So just thinking about what it is they want to ban out for their next phase though. Maybe they want to start chucking some bans towards Raptis in that mid lane. He did do pretty good on that Leshrac. He was able to make the correct rotations around the map and constantly take towers down once he could. once he actually had the ability to with the maxed out Diabolic Edict. He couldn't really set up for many kills. He got a kill or two onto Polar Bear Prince on the Oracle once or twice. But apart from that, in the early games, he couldn't really grab any real important kills. It was mainly just a key tower pusher. I mean, I think they could potentially run something like the Lycan. Lycan obviously heavily in this meta. It sort of depends if they have a Lycan player. It is one of those quite micro-intensive heroes which some people just don't like to roll with. So maybe they might just decide not to go with it at all. It could have actually worked out quite nicely in that previous game, especially seeing as how, you know, the Lycan just building that Necro book gives you that permanent vision of the Ricky. We'll have to see where it goes either way. But it was the Cottle ban that Incredibads came out with as their final one. Obviously, they've already got the Bat Rider and the Mars. There's pretty much just 2 cores already snagged up. The Mars obviously going to be that 3. Can be that mid laner if Harbinger, Raptis, wants to play with it. Or this, more likely, still just going to be the off lane Mars into the hands of Trebo. And Raptis will be taking that Bat Rider for the mid lane, I imagine. I mean, if it is going to be a bat mid though, the Puck doesn't really mind too badly about having to play up against that. You can always just phase shift and illusory orb out of the range of the Bat Rider if he gets too many sticky napalm stacks onto him, and maybe the bat tries running at him with the Firefly. It's a very, very difficult kill to get. It's one of those incredibly elusive heroes, the Puck. But it is then the Tide Hunter that Mike Oxlong banned out, probably realising that there was that very early Ursa ban. So obviously the Tide is one of those heroes that get countered by the Ursa the most. There is actually the Enigma pickup that comes out from Mike Oxlong. So there is a couple of ways already that they can cancel out the black hole of coming out from this Enigma. The Lich has got the Sinister Gaze, the Puck has the Dream Coil and the Waning Rift silence. As well as now, that leaves it wide open for a Rubik pickup. So now there's going to be a tasty little Rubik just lying in wait, ready to steal away that black hole at a moment's notice. As well as the fact there's also Mars Arena and Flame and Lasso to steal. So really lovely abilities for this Rubik to try and cherry pick and find the best one that he wants to actually play with. So I imagine it's going to be Gucci Magic playing this Rubik as the position 4. So I think he's going to have a lovely time this game. It's always nice playing a Rubik against an Enigma. As well as this Mars and Bat Rider as well. Just 2 lovely... So many good spells to steal. So many good spells. So with Mike Oxlong, sort of a little bit like, oh crap, I forgot about Rubik. But you never know, maybe they've got an answer for it coming out. Obviously the Enigma can always just build a Lincoln Sphere to try and counteract this Rubik, but you know that just very rarely works. There's 2 other abilities that the Rubik can have to actually cancel out the Lincolns. So we'll see what their 4th hero pickup's going to be. Using quite a large chunk of their reserve time. Really think about what it is you want to grab, but it looks like it's just their 2 supports left to pick. They've got their offlaner. Maybe this Enigma then is actually going to be like a POS 4 or maybe a POS 5. But with the Clockwork pickup, imagine the Clockwork's probably going to be the 4 in the hands of Mangology. And then Dreddy will take this Enigma as a 5. Or maybe Mangology could still take this Enigma as the 4, and then you have run as a 5, Clockwork perhaps. I still imagine this Bat Rider is just going to go in that mid. Unless they're going to do some real crazy swap arounds, but I don't think that's too likely. And still, we're going to see what the 4th hero from the Incredibads are. They've already got their 2 supports picked out, as well as this Puck. So the Puck could either be the mid or the off lane for this game. It's pretty good against either one, really. You know, if you're really on it, you can always dodge out the spears coming out from the Mars as well as a Puck. So even that's not too bad of a matchup. As well as the fact that, well, even if you're going lane up against a Clockwork, you can always just Waning Rift, Illusory Orb out of the cogs, so you're never really threatened by that either. So you could actually just run it as the offlane for that reason alone. And there is actually the LC pickup coming out from the Incredibads. So that's the area you don't see too often. So I imagine Saman's going to be running this for the offlane, so this will be a puck in the mid then. So we'll see what position 1 Mike Oxlong is going to think about trying to pick up to lane up against a LC Rubik combo. I mean, I think it all just depends on who they're going to put as this position 5. If they're going for the Clockwork 5 or the Enigma 5. I'll have to wait and see where that actually ends up being. But it is looks like both teams need their position 1. So Incredibads, they've taken away the Slark. Obviously one of those heroes which does pretty well up against the LC. If they always got their Dark Pact online in time, you can always get that off before the LC duels them. Similar sort of situation with the Morphling. If you get that strength morph off, there's no way the LC is going to be able to win that duel. There's not enough damage support coming out from the rest of the Incredibads right now to try and burst through that sort of damage mitigation. Meanwhile, Mike Oxlong, they've banned out the Weaver. And we'll see what their final ban's going to be. Not got too much time to work with. What do you think about what it is they're going to go for? So we want to position 1 that can lane up with a Lich against a Mars Clockwork. Okay, it's actually going to be an anti-mage. So there's a couple of spells to refract. You can always blink out of the Mars Arena if you ever get caught in that sort of situation. As well as the cogs as well. We've always got an escape built into that as well. It's actually just going to be the Monkey King pickup there from Mike Oxlong as their final hero. So actually POS 1 Monkey King. Going to be laning up against that LC. So that's quite a nice matchup there for what is real. It's always nice being a Monkey King up against a opposing melee hero. Easily able to get those Jingu stacks online. Or if they don't, at least force them away from the lane. And it is actually then going to be the position 5 Enigma onto the hands of Dreddy, while Mangology takes the Clockwork as the 4. And then the other 2 heroes in the roles you would expect. And actually a little bit of a swap around on the side of Incredibads. So it's Polar Bear actually taking the Rubik this time. So we'll see a position 5 Rubik laned up with the Anti-Mage. And then a POS 4 Lich going up with a Puck, actually. A Saman is still taking that Puck into the offlane, and it's a mid-LC. Okay, so LC versus Batrider. That's quite a nice little setup. You can always use your press the attack just to purge away all of those sticky napalm stacks if you're caught in a bad situation, as well as being able to just turn around with the duel if the Batrider gets overconfident and tries diving forwards. So that's not too bad. That's a pretty good matchup for him. He's just going to be spending a lot of money on mangoes, I think. Harbinger's going to have just the courier running laps 24/7. Just making sure that LC is always plied up with mana. I think the moment that you can't use the press attack, I think that would be the time the Batrider would go. Mind you, it wouldn't matter because he'd have a stick. I imagine he's probably just going to have a stick level 1, right? Yeah, to start off with the stick. And not even going to bother with any mangoes. You don't need it just yet. MK dead. Oh dear.
The next label play. The next label play.
So here we are anyway. Game 2 between Mike Oxlong against the world and the Incredibads. Incredibads obviously winning the first game already. And it is a best of 2 that I was notified there. So it's not like, you know, best of 3, you win you're losing a series sort of thing. It's all just on for the points. So they want to try and Mike Oxlong, they want to try and take this game number 2. If you know, just to make sure they get a few points. You don't want to start off the tournament with 0. That's always a bad feeling. Rubik can't steal Black Hole if I don't skill it. That's true. Mango Trooper, my 2 favourite guys in the same lane as me. Poggers. So it seems like it's a... I was going to say, it seems like more like friendly bants right now. And then there's Trebo just with the big insults, and everyone's just dropping the smiley faces. As you do. But it looks like quite a few heroes on the side of Incredibads are heading up towards the top lane already.
All right.
So maybe they want to try and get some sort of first blood there. My teammates are something and muted you. What is it though? My teammates are... I don't know, there's 6, 7 letters. That's penis. I thought penis is always A equals D. I just don't know. I just don't know what to think about these two teams. Maybe the other game was just some subtle bat. No, it seemed too aggressive. It seemed too angry. I don't know. There's a lot of waving hands. I don't know, man. I have no idea. This is so serious, BM. I'm already muted for 4 months. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, the Raptors has just rejoined. Everyone's here, and goes are being said. So yes, the game is on. We are back to having some Dota to watch. Huzzah! But yeah, 4-man movement coming out from the Incredibads, head up towards the top lane, very similar to that first match. Meanwhile, everyone's just going back for a standard 2-1-2 on the side of Mike Oxlong. They're not going to try and go for any sort of cheeky first blood play, but they need to be careful because they could actually end up running into this aggressive movements coming out from the Incredibads and feed away a first blood. So they've got to be cautious. Got to be very, very cautious. But it doesn't look like Mike Oxlong, they're going to run into that deadly situation. Just going to play defensively, I think, around the bounties of the bot. There is that line actually that just gets drawn out. I think that was actually drawn by Raptis. Oh. And I think Polar Bear actually just walked into the vision there of the outpost, so they realise that move's coming out now from the Incredibads. So no one's going to get caught out. It will just be a very static start of the game, very similar to what we saw in that game number 1. There is this ward that gets dropped out here by Mike Oxlong. This is going to block out the camp, but it's a very, very easy place to de-ward. So I imagine this that ward isn't going to last very long at all. They'll get a small amount of vision out of it, though, I imagine. Oh, Gucci magic. Ooh. Takes the correct course there instead of running straight into Trebo. That definitely would have been a free kill. So we'll see how this Mars Clockwork combo is going to be able to do up against the anti-mage Lich. Oh, so, okay, so Gucci Magic is actually then now playing the 5 role on the Lich rather than still playing the 4s like we saw in that previous match. There's a little bit of versatility between these two support players, which is nice to see. But a few of them just trading back and fro. So there's the battery assault as well. You never can trade well up against the Clockwork once he's got that battery assault online. It's too goddamn obnoxious to deal with. So how's this mid lane going? Harbinger, he's on 4-1, 5-1, and Raptis, he's on 0. Mind you, there's still a massive wave right here. There's still 5 creeps for him to pick up. But even still, this is Harbinger is just denying creeps onto the tier 1 tower. Finally, Raptors is able to get one. It is that range creep. All important one.
I'll always remember how foolish you look.
But even still, this is a fantastic start for Harbinger. 8-3 to the 1-0 Raptors. This is a perfect start for him. So Raptors is really going to have to be careful. I imagine we'll probably start to see that shift change a little bit once Raptors hits his level 3. Gets a couple of points into the sticky napalm. And down bottom, King and Gucci Magic's actually able to find the first blood onto Mangology. Once again, the sort of lane where you wouldn't think they'd get too many kills actually gets kills. Like before, it was a Ricky Oracle, and they were able to get a kill onto the Mars and stuff, and they were able to play very aggressively. And this time it's an anti-mage Lich, and again able to play very aggressively and actually get the first blood. Something you very, very rarely see happen. Oh, actually, Trubo's applying quite a bit of pressure here onto Magic, but you just get all your mana drained away by King. I mean, a Lich, sure, you punish him a little bit, doing quite a bit of damage, going to force him to use some of his regen, but it is just the position 5. Now that is all the mana from Trubo gone. Mangology is hanging around behind the back, maybe waiting to see if he can get a snipe onto the courier. Actually, he's just charging straight over towards Gucci Magic. He pops his battery cell, but the slow from the Ice Blast was already there by Gucci Magic, so he should avoid this completely. Nice juking around the trees. Quick thinking there by him. On this mid, it's still brutally in favour of Harbinger. Raptors gonna have to really start stepping up the last hitting gears in a minute. Oh, meanwhile, top Phobet. He's getting hit by the Malefice, and Boysville's coming in from the side as well. He does have the Boundless Strike, and they are going to turn him up. It needs one more hit to bring him down, but there is a Telekinesis slowing him down. Only one more hit, but it's not going to be enough to finish him. Meanwhile, down bottom, Mangology, he dies. At least it's the neutrals. He gets himself denied at least, but even still, he dropped. What the hell? Okay. Okay, that's an interesting way of doing it. I would just drop it there because you still get vision of the whole thing, right? I don't know. Maybe not. I thought you did. But fair enough, yeah, he gets the deny. As well as it being an Observer ward. Very, very juicy ward kill indeed. The King and What is Real, they're not doing too hot in CS so far actually. 12-3 and 14-1. So they are being hindered a fair amount in their lanes, not being able to get too much in terms of actual CS. But at least King has the added factor of you know, a couple of kills. Obviously he actually just counts as the one, seems like the other one Mangology actually managed to deny himself to the neutrals, but even still, there's just a little bit more space to work with. But it's very far down in that CS chart indeed. And that's not a place you want to be if you're in position 1, just slightly ahead, like bottom in terms of cores. And that's both position 1, so not even just the anti-mage. So both offlaners doing a fantastic job at actually being able to control the wave very well. Mangology looks like he's just waiting to see if he can get a cheeky kill onto this courier. Waiting for it to make a move, but instead, actually, they're just going to make a move onto Trubo instead, slowing him down. He's going to try and move back into Mangology and try and block it off with the cogs, but unfortunately, the anti-mage has just got that blink strike, goes straight onto the other side, and they find the kill onto Trubo. And now comes those tips. Oh, Gucci Magic's trying to race him towards the boundary room. That's not going to happen. Battery Soul just making that too damn difficult. And Dreddy, he's actually able to grab one of the top ones. There's a race for this last bounty rune. Who's going to be able to get it? Polar Bear's just slightly faster, and he will actually be able to nab that in time. But even still, that's 3 bounties over towards Mike Oxlong, just at the one that the Incredibads were able to get. Still, it's actually doing a pretty good job of juking away, but Polar Bear does have those boots online. It's just right clicks though. Not that it really matters. Actually able to get a Jingu stacks online up against the pup. Doesn't have to just spam out all of his mana just to avoid that. I'm sure it doesn't even matter the fact he's got his Jingu stacks when he's already full HP. Obviously with that bonus damage, it does make it a little bit easier for him to last it, but it's not the end of the world.
The next label play. The next label play.
So now Harbinger's got his 6. Probably going to be looking at trying to get some dual wins on the go. or you could just carry on sticking in this mid lane. He's still doing a fantastic job in CS. At least this time, Raptors, he's able to recover a little bit. He's 30-1 right now. Still quite a large chunk of denies ahead by Harbinger, so he's basically, well, he is level 7 now. And Raptors still about a third of his level away from his level 7. Oh, Mangoji, he got pretty low down bot. Able to just escape though. Couldn't quite get the finish there from Gucci Magic. Now he needs to be careful. Tribo's just hitting him away. Managed to get one gold speak. Oh, he looked like he might have had enough mana to win for the Magic 1, but in comes King to drain it all away. But as soon as he's just going to stand his ground and keep auto attacking, as soon as you have no mana left in the tank, those right clicks on the anti-mage don't do anything at all. Maybe they're baiting him in here. They need to be careful. Gucci Magic coming off the side. They dropped the cock so he can't escape, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter whatsoever. They're just style points. And Harbinger just cutting Incredibads out behind the tier 1 tower, trying to pressure into tier 1 as much as they can. But Polar Bear, he's just getting gone on now. What's his real? Just jumping off the trees. There is the Boundless Strike trying to slow him up. He only needs a couple more hits before he can finish it. The same in there with the body blocks as well as the silence, able to make a bit of space. Meanwhile, Harbinger actually makes his first rotation of the game, finding the kill onto Tribo down bottom, and that's also a dual win. Nice chunk of 10 bonus damage. He's dropping the trash. Nice CS on anti-mage. I mean, yeah, it's not terrible. He's still only just behind the MK. And Gucci Magic just deny himself to the creeps, just so we can get back to base free of charge. But obviously, King's CS isn't like, you know, top best it could possibly be at the situation, but he's 2-0-1 as well, so he's got that added factor. Meanwhile, they made the Flame Lasso that comes out there onto Harbinger, trying to take him down, able to get the press attack off, as well as find a double damage. Raptors, run! Run, Raptors! Don't get caught, man. That's going to hurt too damn much. Actually, even Gucci Magic coming in there with the rotation. He managed to drop down the Ice Armor sewn up, as well as the Jewel. With this double damage, it's going to be nothing. He's not going to be able to get the Jewel win. But even with the Sinister Gaze there, they're able to get the kill at least. So, you know, you don't always have to get a Jewel win to actually, you know, worry about chucking down the Jewel. Just pulling him back and getting that kill guaranteed is good enough. Meanwhile, up top though, looks like what is real. He's able to get the kill onto Polar Bear. Nearly able to get the kill onto Saman as well. He's just on the hunt for him now. Spots him in the trees. There's the jump forward. Couldn't quite grab him. The Dreddy comes in there with the cut off. Still just able to survive that last auto attack. And what is real, able to clear up the kill. Double kill for the Monkey King. So now his game's starting to recover a bit despite his lacking of CS as well. So actually Harbinger, he's making another rotation at bottom. The arena gets dropped by Tribo. Doesn't actually connect onto anyone. Now they're on the hunt for someone. There is the Ice Armor, slowing down Tribo. You can see if they can go for him. He doesn't want to drop the Jewel just yet. Maybe he's thinking about it. Doesn't quite want to waste the cooldown. And actually, Harbinger's just going to go back to lane. He couldn't quite find the opening to get a kill there. So he's going to make sure he doesn't waste any more time. Head straight back to farming. Damn, Tribo man, you angry, son. You need to chill, brother. You need to chill. That there is a very high-strung Dota player. Up top, needs to be careful. Dreddy comes inside with the Manifest stun there. Slowing up Polar Bear. Only a couple more hits needed to get the Jingle Stacks in line with that Boundless Strike. Polar Bear, he's just able to find the final auto attack actually from Dreddy. He's able to finish him off. Gucci Magic makes the rotation around. Slowing him up there with the Ice Blast as well as the jump forward with the Silence. They're going to see if they can get this kill. What's real though? He's actually going to think about jumping into the back lines. He's going to start hitting onto Gucci Magic though. There's the Sinister Gaze, slowing him down. And Saman, he actually just kind of carry on jumping and get the kill onto the Enigma. Now Saman though, he gets hit by the Boundless Strike. He couldn't phase shift it off. Only a couple more hits, as well as the fact that Raptors also made the rotation around. Not that it was actually needed. What was real? Able to secure both those kills himself. Now what? Oh dear, no, what is real? Into getting caught out by Polar Bear, just TP back to lane. Easiest kill of his life. That's a nice little chunk of gold as well as solo experience there, going over towards the Rubik. Can't go wrong with that. In terms of actual net worth though, King, he's only 300 gold, well, more like 220 gold behind that of what is real. There's not a million miles behind. Very, very even in that respect, but when you compare the farm between the two mid laners, 1,100 gold difference ahead there for Harbinger. And he's got his Blink Dagger online, so he's going to be able to set up for some really easy duel engagements. Going to be looking for those juicy supports on the side of Mike Oxlong to really start building up these duel victories. He's still only on +10, mind you. He's actually TPing up towards the top lane. Not that it matters because they'd already got the kill onto Dreddy, so unfortunately for him that was just a little bit too soon to click on that button. Especially seeing as how What Is Real has actually made the rotation down towards the bot lane. Just going to try and force down this tier 1 tower perhaps. Actually, yeah, loads of members of Mike Oxlong all making this rotation. Gucci Magic, run man, the arena actually gets dropped by Trebo. And that is just a free kill onto the Lich. So this will definitely be the tier 1 tower at the bot lane dropping. To the tier of Dota. Congrats. Trebo is he's not the best sportsman really. he's a pretty good Mars player. But yeah, he's not the nicest of persons. Meanwhile, in the mid, actually, 3 members of Mike Oxlong tried to get the kill on the Harbour. He's still able to get the blink back off to the side. Not that it matters. He does get caught out. In comes, though, the Lich ultimate. Unfortunately, it bounces off onto Enigma, so he's not going to get any sort of decent interaction there. And now, Saban's also made the rotation around. They're trying to get the kill on this Batrider, force him off of Gucci Magic. His Firefly runs out, so he gets trapped on the other side of the ravine. And he does end up dropping down, so both mid laners die. Polar Bear thinking about trying to engage into Trebo. That's not an easy kill to get, especially now Polar Bear has no mana. And Gucci Magic doesn't have too much to play with. They're still really trying to apply a bit of pressure onto him. They did have the Dream Coil, but they did choose to drop it. I think they just didn't want to waste it. There's just quite a lot of gold actually just sat into the pockets of Saman. Maybe he's just not quite sure what it is he wants to build up just yet. The King's just finished up his power treads and he's working towards that Battle Fury, but it's still a very, very long way away. Still needs like another good couple of thousand gold. Oh, meanwhile in the mid, they actually dropped the Dream Core in the end. They got the kill onto Trebo. He responded with his arena drop, but they couldn't quite find it. And Dreddy does still have his Black Hole ready to use. He has enough mana if he pops the magic once. There is the potential for Mike Oxlong to do the fight. They jump forward from Mangology. They found the grab onto Gucci Magic. And they will just take that kill. But Raptors, he isn't done though. He's still going forwards. He does his Flaming Lasso is up in 1 second. He's thinking about trying to go for the grab. He can't quite find it. Saban's able to dodge out with the phase shift. And he's going to have to disengage. He needs to be careful. His Firefly has just ran out. And I think Polar Bear was ready waiting to go for this steal. Actually, the jump forwards there from Harbinger trying to get the kill onto What Is Real. Out comes the Black Hole as well from Dreddy, holding them both in place. Wukong's commanding it directly on top, as well as the Boundless Strike. Both the 2 cores on the side of Incredibles get eviscerated. Or Incredibads, not the Incredibles. And now, it looks like Raptors, he isn't done yet. He got to grab onto the Rubik, pulling it back into the rest of the team. Out comes the Lich Ulm as well. They managed to find the kill onto What Is Real, so that's a nice actual kill pick-off. Making the most out of a bad situation. Still, the Rubik does die. But, yeah, just What Is Real just overstepping his reach there with his low HP. Just get blasted and chain frosted into the face. Enough to bring him down. And Tier 1 Tower is actually still relatively healthy as well. I would have thought that Mike Oxlong would have been able to do a little bit more damage to it, but I think they were just putting a bit too much emphasis on getting kills rather than actually doing damage to the tower. Harbinger at least able to finish off the mid Tier 1. So it's just the Tier 1 bot left on the side of Mike Oxlong. So it's actually going to be the Witchblade that comes out from Saban. That's what he's got queued up as his first main item. It would have been a cute play from Trebo if he able to find the grab. He does actually get the spear connection there onto Saban. Oh, and he's able to shake it off before the hook shot was actually able to connect. Even still, Mangology is on the hunt, not going to be able to find it. It was actually the spear steal that came out from Polar Bear as well. Didn't get the connection onto the Mars, but even still, it's a lovely spell to have for future fights. And it looks like both teams are able to disengage without taking any sort of losses. Harbinger, he actually comes in for the back lines. Maybe he doesn't... Thought about jumping forwards there. He saw that they were heading up onto the high ground, but that would have been a very, very risky jump indeed. Mind you, every single ultimate on the side of Mike Oxlong is still on cooldown. And they are very long cooldowns at that. Well, the Ag's nearly online for What Is Real. Only 500 gold away. And then this is going to be little monkey statues popping out left, right and centre. Can you still do the old Monkey King taking Roshan trick with the axe where you just sit in front of him and let the statues do the damage? Alright, forget about that, man. Golgi's getting gone up top. What was that spear? They just pushed him away. I think he pinged that tree. He's like, oh shit, guys. It didn't go. Never mind. Mangolgi just gets saved by the Rubik, pushed him away with the stolen spear. I think Mangolgi's going to take that one. He's happy with how that went. Tanked the gank. Didn't even die. Harbinger's coming to the side. I think he spots the fact that Dreddy's farming up. He's got this arcane rune. But that ward up on this high ground there from Mike Oxlong. They're able to get the spot, and there was smoke as well. It smoked up onto the LC on the high ground, so they realise that they're all here. I think they're just trying to bait out Dreddy right now. They're leading the charge. In comes Tribute from the side. He goes for the duel there onto the Enigma. I think he's going to have enough damage to get him killed. He does get the duel victory. The Mars gets dropped the arena, but it doesn't collect onto anyone. Able to dodge it all. And even though in comes Raptus in the back lines to find the kill onto both the supports on the side of the Incredibads, also finding Saman. So it's just the LC that's able to escape. And all they got was the kill onto Enigma. So pretty good actual responses coming out from Mike Oxlong there, making that situation really favourable for him. Only losing the POS 5. I mean, sure, Harbinger was able to get a dual victory online, but even still, it doesn't matter too badly. At least King was able to carry on farming in the meantime. Does have his Battle Fury online now. Wasn't the fastest time in the world on this Battle Fury, but, you know, it's better late than never. And now we will start to see his net worth really rapidly climb. He is 500 gold over the top of the Monkey King right now. And we will just start to see that gap grow bigger and bigger. Unless Mike Oxlong, they start taking loads and loads of fights. And they're able to get a few pickoffs and really just try and progress his farm through getting kills rather than anything else. Especially now the fact that he's got his Ags online. So I think for the side of the Incredibads, all they want to do is just keep making space for King to keep his farm progressing, and hopefully he gets to that point where he's that big, massive late game carry, which is just real damn difficult for the side of Mike Oxlong to deal with. But I think that's going to require Harbinger to get a few more of these duel victories. He's still only on plus 20. He does now have the level 2 duel, so we start to ramp up the damage a little bit faster once he does actually start finding people, but it's just actually finding the opening and having enough damage and getting the kills in the duration. He does have his Blade Mail online now though, so that will assist him a fair chunk in actually getting these kills. Obviously it doesn't assist too much though when you're trying to go for kills onto the supports, because supports do like naffle, like right click damage anyway. But it doesn't make it quite comfy. Raptus uses the tier 1 tower. Looks like he's going to try and fend it. Harbinger jumps forward. Once again, the duel there onto Raptus, but he couldn't quite find the opening. Able to get out there. The Fireflies get stolen out. But unfortunately, I think he wanted to wait for the Flame and Lasso, but now it does come out. Bringing back Harbinger. The Chain Frost flying into the backlines. He's going to be doing quite a bit of damage. The arena gets dropped. They will find the kill onto Harbinger. Meanwhile, in the backlines, Mangolgi is on the hunt for the supports. Not going to be able to find them. They're all in full retreat. And it looks like everyone else should be able to escape. The rocket, it just misses him, so I don't think they saw the vision onto him. And he's able to escape. It's just Harbinger to drop. Lots of rotations come up there from Mike Oxlong, so this is just more space for the Anti-Mage, at least. So, as long as I think if everyone died there, that situation would have been really disastrous for the side of the Incredibads, but, you know, it wasn't terrible. Still bad. It's still bad just to lose your LC. But, as I was saying, it is space for the Anti-Mage just to keep going. He's actually now smoked up with two other members on the side of the Incredibads. They spot out the trail of the Batrider, so they realise he's in the jungle somewhere, but he's already miles on the other side, and they're not going to be able to find him that easily. And even when they do find him, he's super close to a tier 2 tower, so it's not going to be an easy kill to get. Actually, Raptus is actually heading straight into him. They get the spot, the Duke Coil gets dropped immediately. He will just pop his BKB to retreat. Hook shot was slightly off the mark as the members of the Incredibad just did a U-turn. But it doesn't find anyone, and they're able to just blink out before anyone else to the side of Mike Oxlong could get the grab. But the Mars also got his BKB online now, full 10 seconds. What is real? working onto the Maelstrom. Actually, he's going to jump forward onto Polar Bear right now. There's the stun. There's the telekinesis chuck onto Mangology. Actually stealing the leap as well. They do connect him there with the stun, the boundless strike, but even still, looks like the Rubik will actually be able to escape that sort of situation. They're both just hopping on the trees at each other. They get the spot. Oh, he's able to dodge out the spear. It doesn't matter. They just chop the tree that he's standing on, and he does fall anyway.
I'll always remember how foolish you looked.
There's a cute attempt there by Polar Bear, but nice read there from Treebo, getting the right tree, taking him down. Free kill there onto the Rubik. Still the Farmer King is just keep on going forwards. Oh, he jumps forward. He's going for the duel there onto Mangology. And with the helping hands of King, they should be able to find the kill in time, especially with the Mana Void that gets dropped. Raptis did TP into the onto one of the creeps, but a real too dangerous situation to go for the engage. Especially seems like there's no other members of my Oxlong in the area. So what's the Farmer Dreddy doing? Pretty bad, because he's a +5. Yeah, that's what you'd expect though. I think this is this finished Tranquils? Oh Christ, it's a Blink Dagger! Jesus, where'd he get that from? Never mind, his farm ain't too bad. Alright, he's got that. He's got a mystical Blink Dagger. Maybe going to try and set up for some cheeky black holes, but if you're going to go for a black hole, you have to make sure you get this Rubik in it. Or at least make sure the Rubik is controlled out by someone else, because it's always really scary giving away a black hole over to the other side. Even though Polar Bear still doesn't actually have the Blink Dagger himself to really utilise the black hole massively, like super effectively when he does get it, but even still, you can just walk in and chuck it down. As long as if you catch some people, it's always going to be worth. And there's actually a smoke out coming out from the side of Mike Oxlong. Heading up towards the top, there is an anti-mage up here. King is hiding in the trees. The jump force was real. They get at the spot on him, so he realises he's in the area. Are they going to be able to get the right correction? They get him the spot there with the stick of napalm. He's able to get one more blink out before he can get the Flame and Lasso. He does get trapped in there by the cogs. The Flame and Lasso actually connects onto one of the illusions. Dream Cog gets dropped, trying to make a lot of space for him. He's taking quite a bit of damage. Still stunned off to the side. He's just about wear off. He couldn't quite get the blink off. Meanwhile, in the meantime, Dreddy and Mangology both died. So they get a few good trades for the Anti-Mage at least. Saman's actually trapped in the backlines. He's got no Marlon, no HP to work with. He tries to go for one more illusion orb, not even going to bother jumping to it. He's going to run up towards the top, and he should be able to escape that. Harbinger. He pops out the damage. Doesn't quite want to make a jump forwards. Meanwhile, Raptis actually able to find the kill onto Polar Bear in the sidelines. So it's 2 for 2 at the moment. The Anti-Mage being gone, but Voice Ruin isn't done yet. Gets the finishing blow onto the Lich as well. 3 for 2. Mike Oxlong only losing their supports. Meanwhile, that all-important kill with the Anti-Mage getting taken down on the side of the Incredibads. Nice little gold and XP swing heading into their favour. And that's what they want to do. If they want to just find this Anti-Mage as much as they possibly can. Well, Saman! I think he's just popping. He's just doing a little bit of like harassing. I thought he was going in. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Yeah, as long as if they could just find a few kills onto this Anti-Mage, try and delay out his game as much as they can, and just build up enough of a lead that they can just sort of steamroll over the top of Incredibads. He's working towards the Abyssal Blade as his next item, but he's still, you know, he needs that desperately before he can actually start fighting efficiently. Otherwise, all he really has is a Manta style. Can't quite offer the most in incoming team fights with just these limited items. Actually, a full 5-man group up from Mike Oxlong in the Radiant Jungle. Maybe just want to try and pressure down this tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, everyone else on the side of the Incredibads is grouped up towards their own triangle. Playing very defensively around this Anti-Mage. Fortunately, there is that ward just sat inside the in the creep. In the creep camp, so he gets to spot on to pretty much every member of Incredibads. So Mike Oxlong, they know they've got the space to take down that tier 2 tower for free. And now that opens up the outpost to be stolen away at the 30-minute mark. Obviously, they're stealing now, but I imagine the Incredibads are going to make a move, come close to that 30-minute mark to try and claim that back. You don't want to end up giving, like, just falling even further behind in terms of XP. The Raptors, he did spot out King just taking away a few of his stacks. They're not going to be able to find the grab onto him, though. A very elusive hero to get. Oh. Raptors, he actually gets to spawn to Gucci Magic. Charging forwards, once he gets the kill onto this Lich, actually goes for Flame and Lasso. They will get stunned as well from the Bandit Strike, as well as the hook shot onto the Saman. They get the kill onto him as well. Easy 2 kills there, coming out from Mike Oxlong, just outside the Roche pit as well. So this will just be an immediate objective take coming out from them. There is buybacks on both of these two heroes, but they really don't want to have to use that. And it doesn't look like anyone else on the side of Incredibads is going to bother heading up here. So this will just be a free Roche going over towards my Oxlong. Imagine they'll just give the Aegis over to what is real. Not really worth putting into the hands of anyone else. My Oxlong heading down towards the through the mid. See if they can get a pick off onto either the LC or the anti-mage. Both of them in this area. Both very valuable kills to get. But not easy kills to get at all. Maybe they're thinking about going for the jump here onto Raptis. I'm just waiting at the sidelines. King, not quite sure if he wants to just jump back or not. It'd be a very dangerous one to go for. Every member of my Oxlong is in the vicinity, so they will be able to react pretty quick. Actually, they're not even done yet. They're still charging forwards. They're going to spot a few members on the right now. They go for this sinister initiation there onto Treva. It's able to drop out the BKB in the Mars Arena. Both the supports are trapped in. The Molotov Cocktail actually pushing Gucci Magic outside. Not that's really going to matter. He will still fall anyway. So once again, both the supports on the side of the Incredibads getting dropped. Gone for a fairly long time. There is no creep wave nearby though, so they're not going to be able to sort of try and transition this into a tier 3 take. And then King and the other members just going to start pushing out the other lanes as well. There's not going to be too much in this little small window that my Oxlong's going to be able to do. So is this the basic basher online for King now? He's going to be working up towards that Abyssal Blade, but he's still quite a fair chunk away from it. You know, looks like the Dire going up for a... trying to just slowly siege down this tier 2 tower now. No glyph available. So unless the Incredibads really want to engage here, they are just going to sign away this tier 2 tower for free. I'm just talking about a long range harassment, but that's not going to stop this tower from going down. Oh, we're actually getting pretty down below. Even still, he will retreat. Oh, King. I think he went to try and cut the wave there. End up running into Raptis. Now Magnology. Going to try and find the grab there onto the anti-mage. Still able to get one more blink off. Dreddy's on the hunt. He gets the Sun Malefice as well as the Black Hole. There's no escape for this anti-mage now. And no members from the side of Incredibads are going to be in this area to try and lend help out. Do they have enough damage to control him? He's able to get off the Manta Style as well as a blink off to the side. There is a Flaming Lasso available. One more Boundless Strike. And they go for the Flaming Lasso. They do have enough control, but in comes Saving. He's put down but he did it with the stolen Black Hole. Oh no, Dreddy didn't use enough ability. It's an absolute disaster. Everyone on the side of Mike Oxlong getting absolutely destroyed. It's just Hippo left. There is What Is Real respawning in with the Aegis usage. He drops down the Wukong's command immediately, but there's not going to be able to find the grab onto anyone. Every single member on the side of Incredibads able to disengage. Now Treva, he oversteps his mark, he gets caught out. It's just What Is Real left. Telekinesis dragged outside of the Wukong's command, so it's gone. He's seen quite a bit of damage onto Harpoon though. He's getting very, very low. Trying to juke into trees. He's got press attack coming up, so he's going to be able to heal. But still, it needs to be very careful. What Is Real, he's very healthy right now. He could still turn the situation around. And it does look like the Incredibads are going to try and force any sort of situation. They will just let him disengage. But nice still there from Polar Bear. Very surprised that Gucci Magic, he still hadn't used any ability since Black Hole. He travelled from here to all over here without using anything. That was, well, it was perfect still there from Polar Bear, completely winning that situation there for the side of the Incredibads. That's exactly what they needed to bring themselves back into this game. Obviously, it wasn't fast enough to save the Anti-Mage's life, but you still managed to do massive work on damage on the side of Mike Oxlong. Actually, meanwhile, they're not done yet. They're going to try and find the grab onto the monkey. Here comes the supports. They can lend the helping hand. Harbinger and Saber, they actually end up dropping down. They couldn't even find the kill onto What Is Real. Okay, so what little advantage they had just built up after that engagement is gone. It's gone. It's completely been moved back into Mike Oxlong's favour once again. Both these two heroes gone for a very long time. No buyback. There's a few creeps close up towards the tier 2 up top. They should be able to take down that tower at least. There's quite a lot of members on the side of Mike Oxlong in the area as well. They could maybe push for more, since there is another 40 seconds without the LC. But obviously, there is a glyph available. So they wouldn't be able to get too much out of it. But now King is back up. Unfortunately, both the sort of fights that King has been in, he's been the one to get initiated onto. And he's just been trying to dodge and survive for as long as he can. Oh, he really gets shot by Treebo. You're going to immediately start going on to King here. So he pops his own BKB, trying to stand his ground. Dread even blinking into the middle of the arena. Not about to find the grumble to anyone. So there's the arena used up. Raptors coming in with an arcane room. Wants to try and go for the Flame and Asso here. Even with the Dream Core, trying to limit the space he can work with. With that BKB pop, he should be pretty safe. What the hell happened there? The spear hit, but then the phase shift still happened. It didn't do anything. But, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Saber still ends up dropping down. And now this is going to be the tier 2 drop-in. And no puck for another 45 seconds. They've got creep wave. All 5 heroes here. They might just transition this into the tier 3 tower siege. We'll see what the Incredibads have got to try and stop this push from happening. It's not going to be an easy one. And Black Hole is back online as well with that Blink Dagger into the hands of Dreddy. So he's ready and waiting for the opportunity to just shut down everyone on the side of Incredibads. The range barracks is gone. Ooh, that aggressive 4-star was real. Jumps, gets pushed directly on top of the ledge. Even just going to drop his Wukong's command. Just to secure the range barracks take. Ooh, Chuba had to come back in there for the final hit. Oh, but they don't let it. They jump immediately back in the stolen Black Hole. It doesn't grab onto anyone. It gets immediately counted out by the hook shot as well. Chuba going to reload, but there's the real Black Hole. Catches onto everyone. Absolute destruction. It's just Saman who's left. BKB popped by Truman as well. They're going to see if they get this kill into the puck, but he's just going to be able to get the draw back off to the base. He should be able to survive this. Even going to drop the Dream Call again to make a little bit of space. Just the patience from Dreddy, waiting for the perfect opportunity just to get that Black Hole. Absolutely amazing. Catches 4 heroes on the side of Incredibads. And they're actually going to buy back on 2. He drops the Mana Boy. Dreddy just barely able to survive. And now he needs to be careful. He will manage to get the kill onto Mangology at least. But that's all they're going to be able to get from that buyback on 2 heroes. Not quite what they want. Maybe thinking about hunting for else. Raptis just toying with him at the moment. Not quite sure if he wants to carry on going forward. Ooh, I don't know what's going on my camera there. But even still, that's a buyback used on the anti-mage, buyback on the Lich, lane of barracks taken. And all you really lost was your clockwork. So the lead that Mike Oxlong's been able to build up just keeps getting bigger and bigger this game. And Raptis, even with the Octarine Core online, BKB, and 3 grand sat in his back pocket, we'll see what it is he wants to build. Vouchers fapping. Oh dear. Why do you do this? I'm sure vouchers is what is real, right? I'm pretty sure it is.
I'll always remember how foolish you look.
So 4k lead for the Monkey King over the top of the Anti-Mage. I mean, with the way this game's been going, the momentum that Mike Oxlong has, it feels like it should be bigger than that, but even still, it is quite a sizable amount, nearly an entire item. And he's got his Skull Basher online, still got that Abyssal Blade queued up, but he's still like a good, yeah, like 2,000 gold away from actually being able to finish it. But at least he doesn't have to stay for buyback now. So I'm sure he doesn't mind. So Abyssal Blade actually queued up for Treebo as well as this next main item. Good way just to carry on this lockdown that they get onto the Anti-Mage, just making sure he cannot move whatsoever. And they've got enough damage to actually bring him down at a reasonable amount of time. And the more locked down, the better. You can never have too much. And then Dreddy is actually queued up for the Lincoln Sphere as his next item. Obviously, just to make sure the Rubik can't steal that item away, but I think it only really works the once, and then the Rubik will realise he has that Lincoln's and just cancel it before. Unless he's just constantly checking the inventories, which you'd hope they would be. But obviously sometimes if it is that first reveal, it can catch you out. And all it really needs is that first good block of the black hole. And it's a very good situation for them to be in. The Scardy online for what is real. Nearly got enough for his own Abyssal Blade. Only about 1100 gold away. He's already got the recipe sat in his back pocket. This is a very, very beefy Monkey King. Very scary thing to deal with. He's only a couple of levels away from that massive Wukong's command as well. Like, it's a very difficult thing to try and fight into, that humongous AoE. And it's still quite a few levels away before Polar Bear's able to get that sort of telekinesis drag distance to try and just throw the Monkey King out of his own ring. I don't think he's going to be able to get in time before that ring is absolutely massive, and then it's just a chore in itself. I'm quite surprised he hasn't gone for the Aghanim Shard, to be honest with you. If you can get that item, every single time this anti-mage gets grabbed up in the arena or something, you can just lift him up and just chuck him out, even when he's stun locked up.
My thanks will come later.
So it would be, I think that would be a pretty nice pickup for him. But obviously it's 1400 gold, right? Yeah, 1400 gold. He still needs another grand. As well as maybe saving up for buyback if he really is going to prioritise it. But I would think that would be a pretty good shout for him. I can't tell if these guys are like just standard joke BM or is this actual like, proper BM. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know these players. This is a very long masturbation, Seth. Needs to just hurry up. Someone give this man some lube or something. Make this faster. Chronic masturbator. There's only so many times I can flick through the map, waiting. Just waiting. So what is sort of like the main way that Incredibads can try and bring themselves back into this? I mean, it would just be trying to get some sort of pick off right onto the Monkey King. Would be an amazing target if they could find it. But he's a very tanky hero, quite difficult to deal with. And I mean, they got a decent amount of catch there. They got the Blink Jewel from the LC. They got the Puck with the Blink Dream Coil as well. So they do have a fair amount of catch to try and grab onto this Monkey King if they can find it. It's just really finding the opportunity to try and make that play. Because every single time they would try and leave their base or anything, just Mike Oxlong, they immediately start applying pressure and just forces everyone on the side of Incredible's back. And they just can't quite find anything. Oh, we're going. He's back. He's done fapping. Huzzah. So we'll see what the game plan is going to be coming out from the Incredibads. I mean, it's quite a difficult thing. You know, what is they going to be able to find? But I mean, as soon as they leave their base, they're going to have this top lane constantly pushing in, as well as a deep ward. So with all this deep vision, they can tell when the Incredibads are going to be trying to make some sort of aggressive play. And Noctis actually just scouting around the area with this invis zone. They're going to be able to spot the fact the King's coming up here. And Voice is also in the area. Oh, King needs to be careful. He's going to lead up with this Flaming Lasso, and there's going to be Voice Rules going to start getting involved. In comes Polar Bear, trying to come in for the save. They're going to select the steal. It's just a sticky napalm. Tribo comes in there with the arena, not going to be able to grab him though, and King's able to escape. Meanwhile, Magic, he just drops down the chain force, doing quite a bit of damage. Nice pullback there with the Sinister's Gaze. My god, Rammus is taking loads of damage. He's actually going to find the kill onto the Bat Rider. Nice plays there from the Lich. Does cost him his life, but hey, he takes down Raptus with him. Lovely moves there from him. So very, very close there. King just barely able to escape that situation. So sure, I mean, both the supports die, but I think that's worth it, to be honest. That was the Flaming Lasso, the Arena, they were all used, as well as the kill onto the Bat. I mean, sure, you use a Dream Core and your Chain Frost, but hey, you know, it's delaying the game. It's giving as much space as you possibly can for this Anti-Mage, just keeping him going. I think, is that his... Okay, he's got finished Abyssal Blade, so this is the time that King probably wants to start trying some fights. But the Abyssal Blade instantly finished up as well by What Is Real. So there's going to be a little Abyssal Blade action going on. Actually, Harper able to snipe away the tier 2 tower at the bot lane as well. Just find a little bit of extra cash injection for his team. What is real? He spots him out with this deep ward they got. So they're just sort of hanging around on the trees. Doesn't quite want to jump in there though. Sure, they have the vision in the area, but it could be quite an awkward situation to put yourselves in. Hello, just tree dance. So now we're going to get a tree dancing Rubik just jumping around as you do. So I think it's just the Roshan, which is what Mike Oxlong are waiting for. He's actually up in 20 seconds. So if Dreddy just stays sat in this pit, he will find it very, very soon. And this will be Aegis and Cheese as well. Also working towards his BKB, just to try and make sure that that pesky Rubik doesn't keep stealing all of his shit. Oh, wait a minute! Oh, they're on the same tree! Oh dear! Run, Rubik, run! What is real? He's on the hunt. No, I'm not going to change his mind. Bannerstrike talks to the crew wave. Meanwhile, though, the Barrod jumps straight on in there. He's got the grab, pulling him back, taking quite a bit of damage. Retriever comes in with the arena, catches onto three of them. Halberger just gets pushed out to the side, takes way too much damage, and he will drop. The Anti-Mage having to disengage straight away. Chain Frost doing quite a bit of damage onto the back lines. Will force Mike Oxlong to disengage, but even still, that's the LC dead. Anti-Mage got super low to be forced all the way back to base. And that is just going to be all the space that they need to finish up this Roshan kill. That's going to be Aegis Cheese into the hands of What Is Real and probably the Bat Rider. Maybe they might give the cheese actually over to Tribo, perhaps. Maybe that would be the case, seems like the Bat's already left the area. Oh. Did he? He's actually found the grab onto Polar Bear. Oh my days, that found the strike. That was horrible amount of damage. Well, that was just a free kill onto the Rubik then. So 2 heroes down, Mike Oxlong. They got some a wave pushing in the top, but the other 2 waves are relatively far away. You can see if they can push into it. Okay, he's put down the Abyssal Blade onto Trivo, but in comes the hookshot there from Mangology. With the refresh onto the hookshot, trying to delay the tower as much as he can, pushing it back with Cogs. The jump forward there from Dreddy, but he gets refracted back from the counterspell there. But even still, they're on the hunt for him. He's going to try and cut up onto this high ground, but then even still, What Is Real's waiting here. He's just blinking into so many members on the side of Mike Oxlong. He just could not find the space, and he gets dropped. He's gone for 110 seconds, no buyback. And that's just going to be a huge opportunity now for Mike Oxlong to just annihilate the last of the base remaining for the Incredibads. Their position 1's gone. They've got Aegis, they've got Cheese. All the resources they would need. Tribo did actually get the spot onto Saban there. He's actually still on the hunt for him. Just going to try and pressure out this puck. Obviously, he's not going to be able to find the grab onto it. Puck's is way too damn elusive to deal with. Meanwhile, though, What Is Real just happily smashed away at the tier 3 tower, takes it down on his own. And he's trying to waste as much time as he can. There is the Manifest as well as the Edict, trying to waste as much time as they can, but it's not going to be enough. Huge Magic's still going to drop down, chucks the Chain Frost, not going to be able to find anything, as well as the Flame Lasso in the arena onto the puck, kills him as well, forcing the buyback. It's not going to be enough though to keep that mid set of barracks alive. That will fall. It's just the last barracks at the bottom left. He's still just jumping forwards onto what is real. Want to try and get rid of this first life, and that is the Aegis to end up used. Now Dreddy coming inside with the stun. Gonna try and control him up. And Harbinger actually jumps into the backlines with the jewel. Wants to try and get this grab onto Raptis. Not gonna have enough damage to get it. He survives in one hit. It was so damn close. Harbinger still ends up dropping down. Immediately buybacks himself. They need to try and keep this alive if they can. Saman actually managed to find the grab there onto Raptis. He was super low HP. To find it what space they can, and it looks like that's going to be enough actually to force the members of my Oxlong back. They got pretty low. Actually, Dreddy, that's a very aggressive jump forwards. Got hit there by the LC, but actually the Midnight Pulse from Dreddy actually got the finish off there onto Saman. So it's still a 3-on-3 situation, but that anti-mage is up in 8 seconds time. This is definitely the moment that my Oxlong needs to retreat. So even still, just massive damage done to the side of the Incredibads. Another set of barracks, multiple buybacks used. Harbinger and Saman both brought back, I believe. Mangology does get caught out. Free little kill there for King. So
That was lame.
definitely something they need. He's got this, the Penta Edge sword at least. A very nice ability, neutral item to have actually. Especially for an anti-mage. You can find a little cheeky timeless relic there. Probably be a perfect item to just put into the hands of the puck, I imagine. Yeah, of course you want to give it to the puck. Oh, Harbinger. He's getting actually chased down by the Monkey King, but he's got the Shadow Blade, so there's no way that the MK can try and find that pick off. Oh, but he shows himself to just try and cut this wave. He needs to be careful though. What is real is seriously hunting him down. Oh, he just managed to get the spot, but not in time. And Harbinger will escape with his life. Very, very close though. So the Aegis and the cheese is all gone? Yeah, Aegis and cheese all gone. So maybe Mike Oxlong will wait for the next Roshan. It's a very long time away, and I don't think they really need it. Maybe they just want to secure all the last of their neutral items. They have got on ball. Mental Horn actually just sat in the base. And they have gone for a smoke up play. See if they can get a grab. If they can get any sort of pick off, it is going to be all they need. Oh, but Perdiman! Oh, he just baited it out! You see that? He's styling on it. That was sick. He was still there. It's not going to be enough. They managed to get the grab there onto the puck at least. The Saban will die. But the way Perdiman just sidestepped that arena and then just blinked out, that was pretty sick. But even still, he does get caught out here. Rebuked in the face. Trubo says, yeah, you dodged my stuff, but pff, it don't matter. You dead, buddy. You dead anyway. So again, 2 pickoffs. 5v3 situation. Even the 2 main courses on the side of the Incredibads aren't even in the base. Obviously, the creep wave is pretty far away. So they've got that small safety net that they can just keep applying some sort of pressure up top. Maybe still creeps here in the mid. And I think that's all that Mike Oxlong needs to start pressuring onto this tier 3 tower. They know there's no buyback on the puck because he didn't in that previous fight. There is one on Polar Bear and he will use it now. Gonna try and help defend, I guess. Even still, the anti-mage zone just come back to space. The range barracks is gone, the melee barracks is gone. Now up against mega creeps. It's not the end of the world when you got an anti-mage on your team, but even still, it's not an easy thing to play up against. Especially when you're already 23k gold behind. Flame Lasso is also up in 5 seconds, so Mike Oxlong going to beat nearly full Billy. Oh, but a nice play there with the 4-star, trying to get the grab there on towards real, but immediately gets countered there by Trubo. Black Hole comes down from Dreddy, he gets the grab onto Gucci Magic, but rebuked into the face, he gets melted. King trying to stand his ground, does quite a bit of damage to that Mana Void, couldn't quite find the kill, immediately going to buy back and get back in there. Harbinger gets caught out as well, he dies very quickly, gone 2 minutes, no buyback. Out comes Dreamcore onto 3, he manages to do quite a nice amount of lockdown. Trubo getting pretty low as well, but they didn't quite get the finish onto him. Oh, I believe Trendy actually ends up walking out of the drink core, gets caught out by the sub, and now boys feels back. TV straight. Oh, he gets the bash and hit, knocks King down. He's gone for 2 minutes as well. It's just the puck, but it doesn't matter. GG is called. The Incredibads tap out, and Trebo drops the clowns. As you do, Trebo, as you do. But even still, that's Mike Oxlong taking game number 2. And it's a best of 2 series, so it ends up just being a 1-for-1 match piece. So even split of points between these two teams. But